What is the number one buzzword today? AI, artificial intelligence. Most of it is nonsense. It's not even real artificial intelligence, but there is some development that has taken place. And what's going to power that? Well, many have suggested that it's going to be uranium that will do this. If we look back in the pages of history 5 years ago, 6 years ago, there was a lot of talk about ESG, okay? And this whole ESG thing was all about how we're going to be so environmental and we're going to have clean energy. And all of that talk was really ramping up, okay, during this period of time. And it was a really important thing to note. I brought it up to the subscribers many, many times, not because of the environmental stuff, but because the governments were getting behind it. Governments in Europe, governments all around the world, in fact, were saying we are going all in on ESG. Funds were in all ESG. And guess what? They found out, those funds weren't so clean as they say they were. It was just a bunch of fund companies investing in Microsoft and Apple and Amazon, all the tech companies. And so ESG was just a cover. But what I said throughout 5 years ago and more was that these governments are going towards clean energy and they will invest billions upon billions upon billions and globally trillions of dollars into this clean energy, solar panels, wind, and uranium. They are going to dictate, this is what I was saying, they're going to dictate that nuclear is clean energy. They need modernization, and they're going to go ahead with that. And then what happened was they started to reopen all of these old decommissioned plants. And they said, look, we're going to do this, and we're going to go up, open up new ones, but it takes many, many years to do that. And so if that's going to come back online, well, then it doesn't matter if there's a recession. It doesn't matter if there's a problem because governments will spend regardless. Something goes in the budget, they just spend. And that's what was happening. That was many years ago. And then we came into the AI era and this whole AI thing boomed. And then they suddenly said, oh, by the way, it's really power hungry. And as time goes on, we're going to need more, not less. And so you have uranium. I was talking about this a long time ago. Do you remember me talking about Cameco? I just use as an example. It happens to be the second biggest uranium company in the world, but accessible. It's basically the biggest. And when I looked at that stock of 77, it's interesting because back here in February of 2021, I did a little look up with ChatGPT of my transcripts and tried to find the earliest, time when I was talking about this. I'm quite certain it was 2020. Forget it. Let's say 2021. Let's be conservative. That stock, Cameco, was at $15. You can go and fact check that. $15 at the time of me saying this, February 12th, February 16th. When I was talking about uranium and the whole deal, it was $15. Today it's 77. That's just one company. I was able to see this trend because it was so obvious. And throughout all this time, I've produced hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of videos over these years. In fact, yeah, hundreds of videos. All of that time, every single day since that video came out, I have been told off. I've been called every name in the book. And meanwhile, I'm sharing information that says, well, by the way, there's this major trend here, 5x in one particular company. Kind of big. There's been other companies that have done better, certainly, but not with this big trend. And there's a reason for that trend. Okay, yeah, you could have initially said it was the one thing or the other. Look, now what's happening with uranium is all about this continuous motion, more energy going into it. And now a lot of that juice has been squeezed out. There's no question about it. The trend is still there, but I talked about this way before. Some call me early but right. Some say I don't know what I'm talking about, but certainly the proof is in the pudding. I talked about the bottom of the stock market in 2022, mentioned it many, many times right at just before it was technically bottomed out. And then afterwards, I said, yeah, that was probably the near term bottom and we will reevaluate exactly. And then what happened? Boom, it just went up from there. This is something that I'm just trying to get people to, hey, if you want to know more, hit the thumbs up button. Put a comment in there. That's it. I'm not saying anything else. I just want to continue to make the videos and for people to watch. I have been deemed correct over and over again, all because when you find yourself aligned with the truth, you can't go wrong. That's just the way it is. If you support the truth, hit that thumbs up button. This is just a different video. I just wanted to highlight it because I was going through and I found this, and I thought it would be interesting to share. So if you want to support the channel, subscribe. A lot of people have been unsubscribed, I know, and they continuously do unsubscribe people. Just make sure you resubscribe, hit the little bell. Not that it does anything half the time anyway, but you will see more videos from me as long as people keep watching. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care.